stop me anytime and ask me to repeat if necessary. So, but I'll jump to the slide deck right away and we'll kick it off. So basically, this year is general gameplay is CTF style with some automated scoring and some flag submissions. So basically, from previous years that we had purely panel-based scoring, we have still reserved the right to accommodate some panels members. However, most of the scores will be automated via two means. One mean will be real-time feedback to the students if they're doing things right or wrong. And basically this feedback integrated in the scoring system. And another part is flag submissions, and students whomever participated in the past event are familiar with this type of interaction, but basically it's just a web form and you submit the flag. There is one more thing, we're introducing a real workflow type of interaction, and there will be a ticketing system or issue tracking system, which will be scored at this particular stage manually by the judge panel. So basically, let's briefly talk about what students will have access to. So students will have access to their own dedicated environment, and this environment will contain certain subset of systems and other devices. All documentation about the environment, responsibilities, goals, and how to win will be provided. I mean, of course, it's not a step-by-step manual how to win. It's pretty much quite a interesting approach of simulate work environment, so they will have all the documents that they need to succeed. Internet access will be provided. Previous seminar recordings will help because we based our game on the seminars that were done, and there is absolutely no need to run images on their own laptops, so everything will be remotely accessible. In addition, we have integrated hint system or hints system within the scoring engine. So basically, Jared and I or other members will have an opportunity to publish the clues throughout the game that will be visible through the web interface that students can access on their laptops, or it will be on the screen as well, and or. Let me just jump to the next slide. So what to bring? Preferably one machine per student. Operating system doesn't really matter. Then we would like, Jared and I would like to stress, the machine must have a wired Ethernet connector. So this RJ45 little port, so it must be on the laptop. So modern laptops such as some of the Mac and Ultrabooks will need to have some sort of adapter that RJ45 Ethernet cable can be plugged in. So I think I stressed it enough. So in addition, they need to bring Ethernet cable to plug into switch on their table. So there will be no wireless access for students to the environment. They need a laptop, Ethernet capable, and cable to plug into the switch that is on the table. And of course their own power supply and whatever they need to support their laptop. There might be some challenge with amount of the receptacles on the desks. So please make sure that kids will charge their laptops ahead of time, and basically then they will somehow share, unplug. So it will be another, I guess, entertaining activity for them. Software that may be that you may want to install. In addition to the document that we're providing, there will be a repository of all software on the same student portal. So the SSH client will be available. RDP client usually built in Microsoft environment. And I don't want to do anything specific for Mac or Unix, or Unix-like, I should say. So kids will go to internet and install it. If they need help with installation, we will provide the help from basically from they will get help from volunteers or from me and Jared. Nmap will be provided, as well as ZenMap as a graphical representation of Nmap. Wireshark will be also placed in the repository. Zip Archive Manager, basically, it is important part because sometimes it's integrated, sometimes it's not, but I just want to make sure that it is there and available. Netcat also, basically, Microsoft binary will be provided, otherwise kids need to install it otherwise. And file recovery is a test disk, or there might be other software used, but the point is that it needs to be there, and Jared and I will be doing test disk presentation this Friday. So students need to be familiar with material we have previously taught, and basically here it is: incident handling, network basics, including TCP/IP, Windows and Linux processes and ports, Netcat, Nmap, and basically basic hardening from Microsoft and Linux devices. So that's all for me. So I'll just leave the floor open for question and answer. Hopefully it helps. So I'm shutting up.
Questions? Alexi, we're here sitting at ATC. We're working on the unplugged breakout sessions or challenges. In terms of scoring the bonuses for these, do you want the kids to type in a code that you award them, or do you physically want the kids to walk up to you to show that they've received the piece of paper out of the box to score the bonus points?
I will prefer kids typing it as a flag, because then it will be continuous flow and I don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
And basically I need the guys from you flags as soon as possible, or whatever codes as you're calling them. Like if you can provide me in the next few days, that would be awesome, because Jared and I are planning to replicate the environment for all the teams, so I need it ASAP.
So what kind of codes do you need?
It can be anything. It can be word, numbers, alphanumerical string of any length. I don't care. Preferably not pictures. Like it should be textual based.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have a different one for each puzzle for each team. So it's gonna be like a matrix, like 10 by 15 matrix of passwords. Is that too complex?
No. I like to parse my data, so there won't be any problem.
Just out of curiosity, in terms of the scoring percentage of what these breakouts are worth, we're wondering what your thoughts.
Yeah, what is the scoring rubric for your cyber game? Like, is there a certain amount of points that they score?
Basically, that's another interesting decision to make, because right now I'm planning to start all the teams with 100 points, because the game actually will deduct points for things. Nice. So that's another interesting part. And in terms of metrics or weights of the scores, I never gave enough thought to it. So I'm open-minded, but at the same time, if no suggestion is provided, I pretty much do like whatever 10 score per event or per activity.
How much points do you think would be reasonable for the breakouts to give to the students?
Guys, it's completely up to you. Because again, I don't know how is important hands-on activities, or how are important basically computer, whatever IT part of this event. So we might want to do like for computer-based activity 10 scores, for hands-on activity 5 scores, or something like that.
What is there a maximum score from the computer part that you're working on? Do you know what that would be, it roughly, or?
Sorry, I don't remember the maximum value of float, so it would be billions, and if it needs to be, I do a double float, so there is no maximum number.
Oh. And we know how the presentation is going to factor into this yet at all, or has that been decided?
It's in the process to be decided, and basically the finalization should be done on Thursday this week.
Will you have a template for the presentation?
We can publish it on the our student portal or Game Aid portal. So, but no, I don't have a presentation template, so it's never been in the scope of my work, I guess.
Okay. So, is there any way that we could help the kids with some sort of tips or tricks to what they should be presenting?
Absolutely. If somebody can provide me with a presentation document, whatever format it is, I don't care. Like, you should understand the scoring system is super flexible. I spend a lot of time and a lot of line of codes to put into it. So it can present any kind of file. For kids, they will pretty much download it as from any web application. And then if they have an application that can open this file, there won't be any problems. So if you provide me a presentation template in PowerPoint, no problem. If you provide me a presentation template in Word document, no problem. If you provide me a presentation ODT format, which is supported by most of open source Office suites, also no problem.
Okay. Any questions about that? So while I've got everybody here, just got off the phone with Carrie, and Carrie's hoping that teachers and everyone involved can make it maybe Monday before the competition to the RBC at say 5 o'clock in the evening for a quick orientation. So that I'll send that out in an email, but I'm kind of wondering if this is something that we should try to put on our calendar so that teachers know where to go, what the setup is like, and kind of do a quick orientation on Monday. So I'll send out an invitation or email and just kind of gather some information. TechVoc has a question there. I don't know if you guys have answered it. TechVoc, you'll likely encounter Debbie. Okay.
Yeah, Jared does a good job. I'm not looking at the chat window most of the time.
Okay. Any other questions?
Can we just do a percentage? We can just say we want it worth 15%.
Well, that's probably not our call, right?
And I don't think you want to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a max number that they can get. They just support system.
Well, what we'll need to tell them is,
points.
that, you could get up to 10 challenges right from our end thing. So
We just don't want this to supersede.
Right.
No, exactly.
So,
But it could be just 15% of whatever he decides.
Well, we'll set it off to
We
them.
could have a few different categories. But if he's having a game, we'll score here and
Yeah.
the presentation.
Can you ask him if you know that there's going to be a maximum? Or
He just said there
So
isn't.
there's-
So, Alexa, you don't have a maximum score that kids could get from the cyber component?
Just tell me a number and it would be a maximum score. Because as I said, like my main concern was creation of flexible scoring system, and it is done. So if we want to limit kids with I don't know 1,000 points, sure we can do that, and it's our 100%. If we're too lazy to count, then we limit students with 100 points, and then it's even easier counting in the percents. So it doesn't matter for me at all. My only suggestion note that I'm still planning to deduct scores. These scores can be restored, but because of not a challenges in the perception of negative numbers, but I don't want to deal with negative numbers in my code, so I don't want students go below 0. So that's and it's not even a limitation, we can overcome it, but I'm too lazy and I already spent too much time on that, so.
Okay, so whatever they score in the cyber could be added to the unplugged or breakout activities, plus whatever they score in the presentation to get an overall winner.
Absolutely, presentation is entered manually by judges, so and again, I'll come up with some kind of a document for judges how to do that. I assume Jared and I will be somewhat judges, so we can take this responsibility. But yes, there is an opportunity to add scores manually. And again, like for example, if some kid comes to me and say like, I've seen a bug in your code and I can show it to you, easily can give a couple scores on my behalf to the team.
So if we made each breakout 5 points for a total of 50 points, would that be logical?
I guess it's fair.
But then make it a percentage of the competition.
It's not if it's 100. The maximum these kids can get is 100.
Well, I didn't hear that. So,
Well, 100%, he said. The game works on 100%.
but I think if you add the cyber. So on the scoring system, are the bonus or the breakouts, is that adding to their cyber score, or is that going to be a separate score?
No, it would be one total score per team. So there is no such thing as, we can separate, it's not a problem, but again, like the original idea was to provide one single score.
Here's my concern. What if a kid, heaven forbid, gets 100% and 50 points? So what'll happen? Can you get beyond this 100%?
So are you scoring in percentage or points?
I can do whatever. Right now I was thinking about points. So I have points, like as we discussed, 100 points, and whatever percentage allocation will be, I don't really care.
Okay, so the team starts off at 100 points. They do whatever they need to do in the game. They're adding, so if they accomplish something in the cyber game, are they adding, like, say, 20 points for doing something correct?
Basically from this logic, then if our upper score is 100 and maximum that I can deduct by automated systems, and again, like that's from top of my head, I need to double check, but it's around 20 points, then all kids will start with 20. So if we take a baseline of 100.
Like from our perspective, we're just going to send you the codes, and you guys can decide what percent, like how many points they're each going to be worth. What we're concerned about is we don't want our breakout stuff here to be worth as much as your computer part, because it's a cyber defense competition, and your stuff should still be the majority of the mark. Yeah. So we know you'll.
I completely agree with that, and I really respect that. So then just leave scoring to us, and we will potentially do like 30 or 40% of breakout, but it should be less than the cyber stuff. And again, Jared and I and Greg will be meeting on Thursday, and that's when the final decision will be made. But that's absolutely right that we should.
Or even like 15 or 20%.
Yeah.
Like keep it low. That way the kids stay focused on cyber.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all the questions from us. Is there anybody else? Okay, good. So I'm recording this. I'll upload it to YouTube sometime today, and I'll send out the link later on today.
Okay, so I guess then the logical question will be, did Jared, listening to the conversation, did we share something that shouldn't be shared with kids?
I don't think so. No, none of this is any secret.
Okay.
I'll show this to my kids.
Okay, perfect. Then sure, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.